at 9:30 on Urban Media Today Radio through Live 365 and tune in. It's funny, it's informative, never boring, and sometimes it's damn near disrespectful. It's the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. Catch past episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor FM, and UrbanMediaToday.com. What's up?
Hey. Girl. That's the way I feel like saying girl. Like that's how this has been.
It this week, and it ain't even Friday.
No.
But I've been saying this since Monday. It's been a damn week.
Well, I tell you what, the weeks go fast, but the weekend goes even faster. It's like, and I'm back into Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I'm at work, like, I just try to keep myself busy. So I have a load of stuff to do. Like I said, the week goes fast, but when it hits that Friday, I'm like, dang, it's already, Sunday evening. And I used to have this feeling when I used to like hate my job. I hated Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to stop that because I was letting the job get to me and dictate my feelings. But I hated that job. So now I'm like, yeah. If it ain't working out for me, let me go or I'm out. I gotta go.
So it's the Hey Girl, Hey podcast.
It's the Hey Girl, Hey. Yeah, it is. It's
Kiki B. Jones in the building.
Kiki B. Jones. Oh, you too.
Kiki B. Jones in the building. And we use StreamYard, and our bill that we pay for the internet is ridiculous. It's a car note. It makes absolutely no sense. And the frequency for Wi-Fi in here is horrible.
Yeah.
So I can't tell if I'm frozen.
Yeah. Well, you kind of stuttered a little bit just a minute ago.
And I'm talking just like I do not have an issue with my brain.
I know. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
well, it is what it is. I mean, we're in this day and age where we have to use technology to communicate. And so there's been plenty of podcasts and streaming things that sputter. But probably not as bad as yours, though. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I just don't want y'all thinking I'm using Starbucks Wi-Fi. I am literally in my house.
At the crib.
At the crizzle for shizzle.
Yeah.
So you said your week was hard? Your week was a lot?
It was. You know what? This particular job that I do, I really, help people. And I was telling a friend of mine today, you know how like some people are just game people, like they just run games. Like this is just a series of their life. They use systems and they run games. So, whenever you're trying to help them out, they'd be like, oh, thank you. God bless you. Have a blessed day. Then when they get to where they are at, they're like, F you. You know what I mean? You be, I'm like, this was the one that was while I was helping them out, like, have a blessed day. Oh, thank you so much, and I just let people be people and let them do themselves or whatever. But I was just laughing with a friend of mine, like, this is how people do. I mean, I'm like, go on, be blessed. I mean, it doesn't stop me from doing my job and, helping them and taking care of them or whatever. But yeah. But when somebody tries to get me to really help them, it's like, oh, Miss LaShawn, oh my God, well, bless you. And, I'm so glad you helped me and I'm so glad to be here. And when they get there and I'm calling them up like, hey, you need to do this, yeah, I ain't got time for that, blah, blah, blah. That's not what you said.
They're showing you their true colors.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, so this is a true color world. This is a true color world.
It definitely is.
It is.
I didn't have, I don't even remember my week, honestly. It went by so fast. I know last week I was sick. I had some bug. It was like a 24-hour bug, and I was out. Like I had the shivers, body aches. I had the bubble guts, fever. 24-hour bug, and it was gone. It was not the COVID, thank God. It was not the COVID. And
was it food poisoning something you ate because you just got married? So
somebody said that maybe it was food poisoning, but
Sometimes food poisoning will do that. It'll like run through your system for like 24. I'm trying to get this one little lock because it's looking
I
crazy.
wonder if it
I'm
was
gonna put
food
it back. There you go.
poisoning.
Yeah,
Oh
because
well, I
some
passed
people
it.
have.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
You know
mm.
what? I cannot remember the last time I was sick with a cold. I very rarely get sick. I
That
very
means you're not
rarely get
around.
sick.
You must not be around people,
And I work in the public.
and you work in the public. You be putting your
Work
mask
in
on.
the public. Nope.
Okay.
During COVID, I did, but for the last couple of years, I haven't. And I think, well, you know what? A couple years ago, during Christmas, I was sick with like like how big my nose is. I got a little, it got a little congested.
A
But
little
since I
bit. A
got a
little
little
bit.
extra room, yeah, I blew
Mm-hmm.
that out. So it was all good. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I probably
Okay.
had that, but I haven't got sick. Went on vacation with family one year. I think that was 2022 or something like that. And came back. All my family had COVID except for me. My
Mm.
brother was like, "You're the carrier." I was like, "Man, there ain't no carrier." He was like, "How do we all get it and you don't have it?" I took all the little, drugstore tests and even went to the urgent care. They were
She
like,
is
"No, you're
covered by the
good."
blood.
Covered by the blood. There you go.
Um, it's
Come on in
still
the room.
cold outside. It's still
Yeah.
cold outside. It makes absolutely no sense, but I think we're at the last few weeks of winter. I need Madam Winter to take her bipolar medicine because 1 minute she want to rain and she want to snow and she want the birds to say the birds is like, is
Like, where we
it
going?
time? What we
Yeah, they're
doing? Take your
confused.
meds, ma'am, because I can't live like this. So ghetto. So
Yeah.
ghetto.
I don't
Um,
know. It's been crazy.
Sean, something
What?
happened really awesome today on this last day of Black History Month.
On the last day, we get something awesome. What was that?
Something awesome. Well, in Pittsburgh, actually. I don't know. You know about Emerald City.
Where Dorothy
So,
went to? In the wood?
no. The Greenwood Plan, Emerald City downtown, uh 215 Smithfield Street. But it's in the Pitt building, and the Pitt building was just purchased by two amazing Black women here in Pittsburgh, Camille Bailey and Samantha Black. And they did the official ribbon cutting today. And I
I
was
missed
filming
that.
it and I was crying
I
like
missed
that.
that.
I witnessed Black history being made today. These women are in their 30s, Sean.
Right. That's awesome.
They're in their and their mothers and their wives,
That's
and
awesome.
they bought the build. They bought the building.
Bought the building. What are they
They
going to do with
bought
the
the
building?
building.
Whatever they
So
want.
um they have office space, event space. They want to put a restaurant in there. Um I mean, you can if you don't want to work from home and you want like office space or co-sharing or
Yeah.
sharing space, it's there. The Greenwood Plan listed their name as the Greenwood Smithfield LLC, Allegheny County. $4.075 million. They
Awesome.
paid for the 3-story building, one main building with 2 attachments. So there's a cricket on that floor.
Yeah.
They have a couple of other tenants in there. Shouts to the Hillman Family Foundation. The acquisition of the Pitt building with they helped with that $2 million. And then they had a private donor of
Oh,
$1 million. And
wow.
this on the final day of
Of
Black
Black
History Month.
history.
So
On the leap year.
what an anniversary.
Yeah. Every 4
So
years.
how would they
Every 4
I didn't
years,
think
we get a
about that.
celebration.
How would they how will
Yeah,
they
every 4
celebrate?
years.
No, we
Every
can't do
4
another
years.
anniversary until 3 years
Yeah,
from now. So
yeah.
congratulations. I
That
don't
is
know
awesome.
when's the last time I actually saw Black history being made. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, there's history being made every day, but like
Yeah.
to see that, because if you've ever been to Pittsburgh,
You mean, yeah, in our own
it's not
backyard.
It's
Yeah.
not, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's not for us. It's
Yeah.
not. It is. It's growing.
It's growing. It's a little different, and it's a little different for Black women too. Well, Black men as well, but Black women in business and ownership, because
Mhm.
we don't have a lot of that. And you know what? Home ownership and just owning property, period, is like a big thing for Black families. That's why it was so hard for us to try to get it, because the people that were opposing us knew that that's a big thing. Owning property, period. Like, that's when you own when you own property, you I don't care what kind of property it is. I tell my nephew all the time, like, hey, like look into that. Just purchase that. It's going to be worth something. It's like playing Monopoly. You have a stake in it. If somebody want to buy that, you can sell that and buy something else. Get Park Avenue. Go get this property ownership, ownership, ownership. And that's something we don't see a lot here in Pittsburgh, especially with minorities.
Mhm.
Sad.
But here, and another thing is, and we need to change this when we know that an establishment is Black owned. We need to support it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't allow one bad meal, one slow server,
Yeah.
one cold batch of fries, one bad experience trying to find parking
Yeah.
stop you from supporting that Black owned business. I know our friend Carlene King, who owns Carmi, they had to close their Southside location. Um, you know, but when it was around, we talked about it. We didn't want it. We didn't support it. I don't feel like paying parking. I don't feel like going down there. I don't like their shrimp and grits. And I don't, and instead of just saying, and maybe not ordering the shrimp and grits, maybe catching an Uber, continue to support our Black owned businesses when we do have them.
Yeah, that's correct. We do have to do better with that. I think we all the way around, we're the kind of people, like, we're not going anywhere that takes a little bit too much effort. We're like, I ain't going downtown.
Guilty of that too.
Right?
I'm guilty of it too. I
Yeah,
am.
like they have like the Black Arts Festival. We could, and there's not a whole bunch of people for the Black Arts Festival, and people are like, "Oh, I haven't been downtown in years." But you say that we don't have anything, and I must say, Pittsburgh is starting to pop now in terms of music. Like
Yeah.
we have like the City Winery that has shows, different people
Mhm.
every week, and I've
Mhm.
been attending those and having a good time. And
Mhm.
then like we have Juneteenth, and Juneteenth has really been good with all the artists and the activities. And there's even on top of that, whenever we have Juneteenth, there's something else going on in other parts of downtown. So you don't always have to be there. You can take your kids to another part of the town. And we'll get people to be like, oh, I haven't been downtown in years and I don't want to go. I don't want to go down. There's too many people. Well, if we don't support it, we're not going to have it
But we're going to
long.
the casino. And there's a
Yeah,
lot of
you
people
stay
there.
in that casino. But the
You stay
casino
in that
knows how to
casino.
wheel people over. It knows how to win people over. So the one thing the casino have is free parking, you
Mm.
know, and you can stay all day. All day.
You want to go
That's
to sleep? We got a hotel next door.
next door. Like I'm guilty of, like, not going to the casino because I'm not a gambler, but I take family members down there, and I'll go to my car and go to sleep and let them do what they want to do. And my cousin said to me, "How do you go to your car and go to sleep?" I said, one thing that they do watch is that parking lot at the casino. That's like the
Yep.
safest place, because they
Yep.
tell when people have their kids, like people go and play and they leave their kids in the car, they're on the news or they're on top of it. I go to my car, lay back, and go to sleep. And I'll be asleep or looking at my phone for hours. And my family come on out. I'm like, yeah, I'm your little Uber. I'll take you where you need to be. But it's free parking. And they have the food. So, we don't do too much of that. And their food is not that great.
It's
So
casino food. What are we expecting?
yeah,
This
yeah,
ain't
some
Vegas.
restaurants are
It's
good.
not Atlantic City. It's not.
It's not. It's not.
It's it.
Some
It's
places are good. I shouldn't
casino.
say that because they might want to sponsor us, but some of the places are good inside of there. But they have the free parking and it's access, and we're always like anybody else, we're looking for access. It's easier to get around, but sometimes you got to sacrifice. So, and I'm telling you, some of the things we have going on here is really worth the sacrifice. It is. I mean, I've enjoyed those shows. Even like this city winery, seeing the different artists that come there, and the prices have been different each time. Like, I
Mhm.
went to one show one week and it was like that show was like 90 something dollars. I went to another one that was like 50, and then another one was like 70. And it depend on the artist, I guess. But all of them have been really, really good down there. But that's something.
You are listening to the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today. You mentioned kids, and I just wanted to ask you something. I know you did not see this report. I know you didn't see this report.
You know,
Do you know what this woman did with her child?
which
Why are you whispering? It's just us.
one?
Um, this woman had her child wax her client, like give Brazilians.
Unbelievable. I couldn't really read. I mean, I saw that work at it. You know how you have the news they had the little flashes while you're
Hmm.
clicking on.
Hmm.
Yes. Where was this at?
I don't know, but
Was it a
I
male
think
child or a female
here's
child?
here's here's I think it was a little girl. Here's the thing that got me. You're the
Brazilian wax.
client. You're the
That's their
client,
molester move.
ma'am. Like it's a female. She's given a
Yep.
Brazilian. So
Mm-mm.
this little girl who's probably 4 or 5, she's putting hot wax on your hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And you're okay with that. And I
There's
understand that it's okay to teach our kids our bodies and we should be, I get that, but something about that, nothing
mm,
about that was right.
yeah. It's wrong on so many levels. It's wrong. It's just wrong,
I
wrong,
just had to
wrong.
ask you that. I just had
So
to ask you that.
so many levels it's wrong. Now I understand people want to, make their kids comfortable with their body, right? That's by showing them things and teaching them things with their own body. But I'm not using a human person to
Mm,
demonstrate things
mm,
on on my 4-year-old with my 4-year-old, and certainly not for waxing.
mm,
Why am I that's not like you're teaching that person a craft. She's not even up. That's like that's like someone owning a bar and putting their child behind the bar and says, serve everybody the drink here.
well,
Why would you do that? They're not
why
old enough.
not teach her eyebrows or upper lip or chin hair or even a baby doll while you do the waxing? And who
Brazilian.
recorded it? And you recorded it.
And he recorded it. Because
No,
ignorance.
you should not have your child. I'm sorry. I know we should not judge. I know we shouldn't judge.
Yeah,
Jesus,
this ain't
forgive me.
judging. This ain't
But
judging.
no,
This is
what
this
I'm
is
saying
calling
is
it what it
judging. You
is.
don't need to have your child. And maybe she's a good mom, just wasn't doing good mothering that day.
Okay.
Seriously. I
Okay.
don't know her. I don't know the mother. I have no idea, I don't know.
But I'm gonna film my child waxing someone's private part. My 4-year-old child, my 5-year-old wax. I'm gonna
And
put it on film
and it may sound like I'm cracking a joke, but I'm not. Like, okay, the strength you gotta have
to
to
pull
rip
that
that
hair.
hair out.
Woo!
That little girl ain't got that strength.
Got that strand.
She ain't that strong.
And
She got she got
that's
them little hands.
he be ready to kick her. She pulled her on, he
Mommy,
be like,
this
boom.
ain't mommy.
I would knock that. You pull that wax rug, I kick that little girl across
And
the room like a
and
mule.
little kids don't have no filter. What if you
Nah.
was thinking,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mommy, it's dang.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just wasn't. We just not. We just. Mm-mm. Okay. I just wanted to tell
yeah.
you. I wasn't sure if you heard that one. That just
Yeah, I heard that, and you know what? Some things I don't want to entertain. I don't want to look at like right at that moment. I ain't want to put that in my spirit. It's just like eh, I got to come back to that. I was
sorry.
like, it'll probably be on
Sorry.
something on television,
Sorry.
but it just wasn't right. It's just not
That's
right.
just bad.
I can't. I
That's
can't.
just bad. We were
I
we were
hmm.
Mommy, it stink.
Right. Kids you ever see the one TikTok where the woman is braiding a little girl's hair in between her legs and the little girl's like, she was like, you ain't got to do me like that. She said, what's wrong with you? And the girl was
You
like,
stink. Kids were
she
not
said,
born with filters.
yeah. I mean, they tell it like it is. She was like, it stink. She said, you ain't got to do me like that. I've been doing your hair. The little girl was just like, she
No,
wasn't going to
you ain't
say
got
that.
to
Her
do
whole
me
face.
like that.
Yeah. And we've all been
Mhm.
there when somebody wanted to braid you a kid, they want to braid your hair. They be like, get down on the floor. Be like, no, can I sit in a chair?
I
Just
never.
let me sit
Thank God, I've never had that experience.
yeah, I had some
Everything's
braiders at
been
the chair.
peachy.
Yeah. I've had some braiders on. I'm like, oh
Okay.
no, I'm good. I
Oh
don't want
boy.
don't
You know, I'm
touch
gonna
this.
sit this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. A little
I'm gonna
tender
sit
headed
this one
tonight.
out. I'm
Mm.
not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
I used to go to
Um.
this one shop and the girl would do my hair. She's from a different country,
Mhm.
Africa, I would say.
Mhm.
But yeah, she did my hair, and they would put on these little smocks, you know,
Mhm.
like everybody matched the smock. You put on
Mhm.
your little thing when you came in. So I was sitting there, she's on my hair, and I was like, oh my god, like is this underarm? And I'm like,
But their beauty regimen is, their skincare regimen is a lot different than ours.
Yeah, yeah, but she been here long enough to know.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, I was like, and she was going around like braiding like this. Like it seemed like every braid was a flap, flap,
that's
flap, flap, flap,
work.
flap,
That's
flap, flap. It was like flap, 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 flap. It's like if you
so you
braid it,
got a whip.
I was like, she was like, you must have had a rough day. Are you tired? I was like, tired is not the word. Like you're killing me. You're killing
Mm,
me. But
mm,
with a
mm.
whole, I don't know if it was a smock. The little shirt was kicking. Hey, Iona. I don't know if
Hey,
the shirt
Ayana.
was kicking or yeah.
Listen,
I ain't talking about it. I'm
they
just
have
saying.
different
It didn't.
skincare regimens than we do. They use different products. We do not want to, assume
Yeah. I don't think it was
anything.
her in her culture. I don't think it was her culture. I think it was her. Yeah.
You- I saw what you did there. That was good. That was so good. That wasn't her
Mhm.
culture. It was her. That was
Her.
good. That was really
Girl.
good. Speaking of
I remember.
Africans,
Umbrere.
I can't
What?
believe you said that out loud.
Mm,
Um,
That's a whole name. What?
so okay, so basically for this episode of the Hey Girl Hey podcast, we're talking about we're talking about relationships. I am newly married. LaShawn is a woman of a certain age, not
Same,
married.
same.
Um,
Not yet.
and maybe with this the two subjects we're talking about today, you might want to stay single. Did you hear about Portia and Simon?
Yes, I
So
did. I did. Hmm.
when I heard they were getting married, I was like,
Well, he thought it was an opportunity for her to what?
oh, I honestly didn't think that was love. And I, be nice, be nice, be nice. I'm trying.
Like the words are escaping you.
Um, I just I did not think it was gonna last. I was like, I just don't see it. I don't. She's a great actress. She really is because she looked very happy.
Yeah.
Um, but she's filing for divorce, and she is
Yeah.
requesting to preserve all the documents relating to his finances.
Wow. You surprised?
Is he that prince that be needing money sent over? What's the prince that be? I'm a prince
From
and I need you to.
Zamunda?
No, no,
Oh. That is the one from Zamunda.
no. People be getting them emails. I'm a
Oh,
prince and
yeah.
I'm stuck over in such and such. I need you to wire me
Yeah.
$4,000.
Right. Because I got these suitcases in Switzerland. Yeah. And people will send their money. Like, he's a prince. Like, think
I
about
wonder
this.
if he did that. But isn't that the same thing that happened with Lisa Ray from Couscous with the couscous, the Caicos?
From the cake. Her husband was from Couscous.
It's so
Yeah.
couscous. But but
Yeah.
but isn't that the same thing that happened?
Well, I think that with Lisa Ray, and from watching the thing with her, that it was that he just wasn't, what was it? He was with everybody. I think
Honest.
he wasn't honest with her, or he had several women, so he just wasn't. It wasn't monogamous or something. Um, I think he was the Turks and Caicos. I think he was the like prince or something there.
Oh,
I don't
was
know,
he?
or somewhere. I don't know. But I
Oh,
think
okay,
he
okay.
had like that kind of status. Now with Portia and her husband, I don't know. It's just it's not even a big deal about Portia. The whole thing is the relationship and how people fall for these things, and how everyone makes it look so grand, but they do
Mhm.
these big lavish weddings and you
Mhm.
don't even know the person, or you really haven't met them. I would rather spend my money and my time getting like meeting with a therapist, meeting with a counselor, marriage counselor or something like that before I marry this person, than have this big old wedding that is so fake and we really don't know each other. I would. And then, because they have like all these great pictures, but like what you always say, people, everyone smiles
Everybody
for
smiles in pictures,
everybody smiles for pictures. So she has these
except
big
for my
lavish
husband.
pictures. Fred be like,
Like, are you
yeah,
you want a hug? You okay?
yeah, bring it on
Yeah.
in. Bring it
Never
on in.
smiles in pictures. Anyway.
Oh no. But see, and I think that's the thing. Like people get so hung up in social media or what other people think that you don't think about yourself.
Mm,
So, and I mean, and since I'm only saying this about Portia because she's on TV, so her business was out there. So I
right.
don't know her, so I'm just assuming things because, like I said, her business is out there. So
Mhm.
you when she first came onto that show, and I hate to give the show all this play, but I'm just giving this example because this is what people go through in relationships. Has nothing to do with housewives because I could give a crap. But when she first came onto that
Mhm.
when she first came onto that show, she was with Cordell Stewart and she was like
Mhm.
real submissive with everything. Like, I don't know if my husband would like that. And my
Yeah.
husband, this,
Yep.
you know,
She was. That's
she was
right.
very, like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like that when they went to different places, she was like, oh, I'm not drinking because I'm that wife who's not going to do that. And and and
That's right. I forgot about that.
she was definitely that one. And so then he kind of came on and he was like this bully type husband with her. And then she finally kind of found her voice, but it just seemed like it wasn't loud enough or it wasn't her true voice. But
That's
anyway,
right.
yeah, because she had
And then
different
she
shows
met
where she was
Nene.
dating different people who,
Mhm. I said, then she met Nene.
right, so she's meeting all these different guys and different people, and and they're all trying to yeah, and it was very fake, and they're all trying to come onto this show and one up them and trying to get more each episode, but you're selling yourself. You're just selling yourself when you do stuff like that. Hey,
Mhm.
hey, her. Um
Mhm.
but you're selling out yourself when you do that.
Mhm.
It's not cool. And so when she first did that, it was Simon. I mean, it was then she moved on to another person she moved on to the dude that she had the kid with. But before that, she was trying to get with another guy to get pregnant. And this guy was like, I don't want to have a kid. But you're living your life on TV. Remember she had the little young guy and she was trying to get pregnant by
I
that
stopped
guy?
watching. I stopped watching.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
stopped
I
watching.
you know what? I used to be afraid to tell people I watched that stuff. I was like, "Oh no." I was such a closet closet watcher. I was like, "Oh no, I ain't watching that." But I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah, I
cuz
can't watch
it
it.
would grapple my little spirit. I was like, "Oh,
Well,
people still act like that or not still, but why do they do that?"
we
Who
wanna yeah,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
brought up a lot of good points. You brought up a
Yeah.
lot of good points. And this is the Hey Girl Hey podcast on
What's
Urban
up?
Media today. Let me just tell you, we got some folks checking in. Latasha Jones is checking in. Ruthie Walker is checking in. Hey, Iona
Hey,
Jenkins,
Ruthie.
all checking in. We're talking about relationships, and this week, Portia Williams and her soon-to-be ex-husband Simon are divorcing. She wants uh, to maintain spare financial records or statements, all income records, all tax records, all expense records, all recordings or evidence reflecting relevant conduct by either party. She's like, I need to know everything that came in, everything that's going out. I need to know everything. And they had a prenup. They had a prenup. They signed it in 2022 ahead of their wedding. She wants it enforced. And the prenup sets forth each party's separate property interests and marital property interests per the court document. So she's like, I guess you come in what you came in with, you leave what you came in with, I'm gonna leave what I came in with. I guess that's, that's a good prenup. But I brought that up to say, Sean, you said she didn't know him. I think he was in another relationship.
Yeah, when she
Wasn't
met
that
him.
because
Mhm.
he was with another woman or something.
Right.
I
They
had
all
you said you've been watching you said you've been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. One thing you did not do low key was watch that TikTok series. Who the F did I marry? Dun dun dun.
Dun!
I had to tell you about that show.
I looked at it.
And and you watched, and it's not even a show. This woman recorded 50 10-minute episodes talking about her relationship with Legion.
That's what she called him.
That was his name, wasn't it his name?
No, that's what she called him,
You know,
Legion. Like
what
the
was his
devil.
name?
Like the devil. They said who whenever in the Bible he says, I am like he's legion, like there's a legion of evilness. That's not his name. She said that she took his name out. She ain't say his name.
See, I skipped some parts
Yeah,
because
we gotta have her come on the show. I'm reaching
my
out to
attention
her.
span is short. No,
She
honey,
got a
she
bad
making money on this. We can probably have to
She's
pay her.
definitely making money. Yeah, yeah, she's definitely. But it was interesting, and I think it was a great learning experience. On I need to be
Who
watching
the
that.
F did I marry?
Who the f did I marry?
Who the
That's what
F
it's
did I
called.
marry? That's
That's
what
what
it's
it
called.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, that's right.
yeah.
Legion is the devil, and that's what she said, and she called him Legion, and which was interesting. And I watched all 50. It took me like 3 days because I was sitting there like trying to do other things and looking at
I
it,
was falling
and
asleep in some of them. I was like, because she's very
mhm.
detailed.
She's very detailed. And
Hmm.
people were she was talking about how people were like saying stuff about her, like you should have known this, you should have known that. And when you look at that, all the stuff that she had gone through, that's easy to me. It's easy stuff. Like when you have somebody that you think is legit, if you're a trusting person, there were some things that she questioned herself on. Now I'm going to say this because this certainly happens with people of faith. Like
Hmm.
we meet somebody and we start to question them. There is always someone in the background who's like your prayer partner or something like that that says, "Well, don't you trust that God brought this to you?" Now, if God brought you something, why are you questioning? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. I'm not saying that happens in our case, but I've heard, I've heard that. So that's why as people with faith, you got to get somebody that's strong in the faith too, that's going to like tell you, hey, tell you the real truth. Now, I don't know who she had in her corner or whatever, but there were some things that she questioned herself about when it came to him. And it was in particular some things she said, well, why am I questioning this? Because this is what I've been looking for in a man, because he came into her life and he was like, you know, he moved in with her during quarantine time, and he paid the rent. He paid the stuff like that. So he was taking care of stuff. But some things she felt a little funny about. And you know how you express your concerns to some people that you feel funny about. And they're like, well, what are you? Why don't you just trust your instincts? Or why
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
don't always doubt? Or they'll tell you don't always
Mm-hmm.
doubt stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
You're
a
blocking
very
your
interesting,
blessing. Mm-hmm.
yeah, very interesting series. I mean, and I call it series because there was 50 of them. 50.
I think she should get an Emmy.
Right? She really
I think she should
should.
get an Emmy.
She
Get an
did a good
Emmy.
job. She was
Yep.
driving and talking, and she
Once I was like, where is she going? Where did she go to work?
she was
Because she
on
was
like
driving for a long
95.
time. Like,
Yeah, she
did
was.
she do Uber Eats? Like,
Right. She came on, and one time she had a scarf on her head. The next time she had the scarf off. I was like,
listen,
yo.
listen. I love
Yeah.
a woman who when you gotta take it all off, but she
Yeah.
looked totally different when she took that wig and that makeup. I said,
She
oh
rolled
Jesus,
out. She was like,
okay.
all right, who the F did I
She's
marry?
like,
45.
part
And I was like,
part
yo,
32.
yep.
Who the F did I marry?
Yeah. Yeah.
She
So
was a great storyteller. We're talking about
she
Risa
very good.
Tisa. She's a
Is that,
great
yeah, Risa?
storyteller, very detailed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, the the thing that caught me, and Letitia, I know you said you haven't watched it, but even if we tell you all the details, you still got to watch it.
You still got to watch it. Mm.
The thing that got me was she said when she talked to the brother, and she said he talks to you every day, and he's like, I ain't talked to that fool in a year or so.
Yes.
And she said, but I watched him talk to you on the phone. And she gave an example. Here's the example. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Right. Now, just sitting here with the homegirl. We just chilling. Hey, babe, such and such told me to tell you what's up.
Thelma said hi.
She said what's up. She said what's up. All right, what y'all getting into? Okay. All right, I'll talk to you later. Cool. Laugh
Every
and
day.
joke. And there was nobody on the
Every day
phone.
he did that.
Nobody on the phone.
He got up and went to work every day. Got up and went to work. Paid the bills. Paid, but took care of what he had to take care of in terms of bills. Yeah. So
a VP of a condiments company.
Yeah, that's what he was, a VP of the
He was
condiment
the
company.
VP. I gotta go and get a company car.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's go test drive some company cars.
They test drove cars. They looked at houses with real estate agents. With real agents. Real. I mean, this is how good he was. There's people that are conniving like that. Their life, how did she say that he wasn't? She didn't say he was a compulsive liar. She called him a pathological liar.
He was a pathological liar.
She said, this is that. There's people that are like that. They lie so well that the truth, the truth could hit them in the face and it wouldn't even hurt, because they're like, that's not the truth. That's the way they live their life. This man was good. And she started to feel, but I appreciate her vulnerability. I appreciate it, because she just went on and she was just saying, I'm putting this out there for whoever.
If she didn't get a job, if she did not get a call from the FBI offering her a job as a chief investigator, like this woman, she was scratching lies and finding thieves. Scratching lies, finding thieves. Like this man lied about having sisters.
Yes.
This man lied
What?
about
His
his
grandma dying?
father, his grandma died. Wait a minute.
His
The
exes?
ex-wife's daughter?
So that's the thing too. When she said, I wouldn't think that someone would lie about someone dying. She said that was, she just thought, well, you're not going to lie because how far are you going to take it when you say somebody died? Now, when he
A
said it was
child.
COVID, yeah, he and his ex-wife was like, "No, my daughter is fine."
She over there playing
Whenever
with her
she got
baby
to the
dolls.
yeah, when she got to the point, but he said he didn't killed her off.
Killed her
But
off.
when he said about his grandmother died in 2020 when she died in 2008, but it's 2020 now. Some of that for liars in 2020, and 2020 brought out a lot of liars. That's when people were getting those checks. Them lying people
I
got
still
them
didn't get one.
checks.
I still didn't get a check.
Well, no, when people were getting was the PPE, whatever those checks were,
Yeah,
they were
I
getting
heard
those
about
talking
them.
about they had all those businesses
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now those brought out great liars. But yeah, he was that dude. he was that dude because he said that his grandmother died in 2020. Now she's feeling for him because she's like his grandmother. He was like, it's COVID, can't get to her, blah blah blah. Oh, it was unbelievable.
Sean, he
Unbelievable.
took her to the cemetery.
Took it to the cemetery. Ain't that something?
They
Now
wasn't
you
there. They he wasn't there. Why we at
but to
some
make the
cemetery?
attempt to go to a cemetery.
Took
Now
her
you
to his job. He couldn't get
yes.
in because it's the weekend.
Talking
Who
about, hey, is Billy there? Is somebody let me know? He ain't there. Wow, you're good. Wow, you're good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Like this
Yeah,
dude
because I
was
can't get in. My pass don't work on the weekend.
right
You the
on the
VP though,
weekends,
bro. You
Right.
the VP, so
You
you
the
only the
VP.
VP Monday through Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So some of these things that happen, some people look at and be like, oh, that's stupid. She should have known, blah, blah, blah. But if you've been dealing with this and you've been seeing other things that kind of counteract like what you might be thinking, like, I don't know, that's something that's minor. Maybe he doesn't. I don't I don't work on the weekends, so I don't visit my job on the weekends. I just don't,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
although I have a key and access. But there are alarms and I don't want to set them off and I don't even
I
care
do
about that.
too.
So, I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe, he couldn't get in because that person's there. So I'm gonna let that one go.
Mm-hmm.
But going to a whole graveyard, or he took her to a church where he said his grandfather was the pastor. Oh no.
His grandfather wasn't close.
Ah, like
And his mother was a teacher.
ninja. How do you lie? And your mother was a teacher.
And your mother
What?
wasn't even a teacher.
And your daddy was in law enforcement. And the brother was like, our father wasn't the worst person, but he wasn't the best person, and he wouldn't have been in law. And he said they wouldn't have stepped near the church. Lord. So I
That
don't
wasn't the
fault her
church.
because, yeah,
That wasn't the church.
that wasn't even church. Don't even know. But this is how good this girl was because, she started to figure out some things. Like, no, something she kind of educated me on when she was talking about your social security number and the numbers, the first couple numbers says where state you're from.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a certain number, it's PA, whatever. I was like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know that. I'm gonna be looking
Mm-hmm.
that up.
Mm-hmm.
She looked that up, and because he said he was from like California, he lived in
He said
California,
it's from
Philly, all these
yeah.
other places. No,
Went to San Diego State,
yeah,
played
yeah.
football. They
Played
have no
football.
record.
Had
They
an
have no record of
offshore.
him.
None. None.
Offshore accounts.
Yeah, yeah,
But wait, he lived in an efficiency.
yeah. When she met him,
So when she met him, he was in a studio apartment.
yeah, because he said something about, oh yeah, it was just this guy. Oh my God. I mean, she still has some more of that story she needed to tell because there's some things I wanted to know too. Um, I might write
I
her
want to
about.
ask you a question. I
Yeah.
definitely want to ask you a question. This is the Hey Girl Hey
It,
podcast
this
on
is what it
Urban.
is. It's what it
It
is.
is. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today.
We're just trying to figure it
The
out.
the thing is, I haven't been single in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I, I've been with the same man for 20 years,
Oh, bless your heart.
right? Thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
How you do?
I've been with the same nigga
That's
for 20 damn
20.
years. Uh, the same nigga. Um, and so all of this is going around. All of this is happening.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was that bad. I have to ask you, after watching the series,
Hmm.
did you said you learned something. Thank you,
Oh
Iona. She
yeah.
said it's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yeah, yeah. The girl
Girl, you
got.
don't even know. Um,
Oh, she mean the
what did you
biggest,
what did
biggest.
you what did you learn? Look at
Well,
me. I'm like,
so
what did you
so
learn?
I don't know if it was too much learning anything. Because I'm always got my little head on a swerve with stuff, and I'm getting better with trusting. Um, but I'm discerning more now. I think that's the thing. That's my faith, and I'm really being discerning. Discernment is the whole thing for me, like really trusting
Mm-hmm.
God with it. So I'm not leaning to my own understanding when it comes to relationships, and that's why
Amen.
I've been I've probably been single for as long because what God is doing is He's preparing me like He's preparing Him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
Come
thing.
on
But
with
I've
that
had
word,
some
sis.
pretty
Come on,
oh
come on,
that's what it
come
is.
on.
That's what it is. So I had some pretty pretty bad not pretty bad experience, not a lot of bad experiences, but I mean one in particular, there's this one dude, man. Let me tell you about him. I mean, this dude was so crazy. I should put his name out there so somebody would know. If you see him, you better run. Or just fight him. Just
Legion.
fight, just get him off your back. Fight him right away. Get Legion off your back. But yeah, this particular dude, but this is the thing is this dude comes with the same line for every woman. Because a friend of mine had mentioned that one time she was going out with this guy, and so she had and it was I said I think it was like 2000 and it might have been like 2015 or 16 or when I met this guy. Very handsome looking guy, grocery store shopper. For one thing, this is where he meets the girls in a grocery store.
Oh.
And yeah, yeah. So I kind of walked past him, I'm getting my food or whatever. And he called me somebody else's name. And I was like, oh, this is the worst line ever. Like, you really did call me some, like, who's going to talk to you after you call him somebody else's name? Duh. So I kept on walking. So he was like, oh, no, you look like this friend of mine. I thought you were her. I said, well, if she was your friend, you would really know that I'm not her. So he laughed, oh, da, 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 whatever. So met him, interesting. There was a couple of things that wasn't too cool about him. I remember him saying one time, we had I came home from work, and he says, I'm looking so forward to eating something that you cooked. And I was like, what? Like, who says that? Like, I've been working today too, and so have you. Like I'm looking, and I told myself I'm looking forward to something that you buy, like us going to dinner, because I'm not cooking today. So he was just like, oh yeah, since I met you, and granted, it was like 3 weeks. He's like, you haven't cooked anything, and I said, well, let's just get this straight. I'm not, and anybody knows me, I'm a good cook, and I love to cook. But I was like, something wasn't cool about him, right? So I decided, nah, I'm not dealing with this guy at all. And so he came to my, long story short, he came to my house. And what I don't do is I don't let people come to my house, right? But I had been
Mm-hmm.
knowing him. He had
Mm-hmm.
been here one time before, but he came to my house unannounced, right?
Mm.
And so I I always I tell everybody, if you get a front door, you always get a screen door with your front door. My screen
Right.
doors are always locked Because have you seen those CSIs where people don't have, they just have the front doors? I can drive
Yeah.
past plenty of houses, even on my street, that just have a front door. So what do you do
Mm-hmm.
when you open that front door? They bash right in. I have a screen and a Ring doorbell, and I'm the first generation Ring, so I had a Ring when that joint first came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking, I see him on the Ring, and I was like, I know this dude ain't at my door. He must have lost his mind. So I'm coming down with an attitude, ready to just tell him off for coming to my door, because it was something like, I'm a woman of a certain age. You don't come to a woman of a certain age house after 9 o'clock. You just don't,
Mm-hmm.
without calling.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been 10 o'clock, 10:30 or something like that. He came to my door and he looked crazy. So he was outside of the door and I had the screen and I opened the door. I said, "What do you want?" And he was like, I wanted to apologize. I looked down, this guy had no shoes on, nothing, right? He looked crazy, like he had been on some drugs. He said, "I just wanted to apologize to you because I think I hurt your I think I hurt your feelings, I think, or something stupid." And he was like, and then I looked over to the side and I said, "No, it's okay. It's nobody here." Like there was somebody in my house. And I said, "No, stay right there. It's cool. I'm about to shut the door." No. And and he was like, "Oh, somebody's here." I was like, "Yeah, like go." You know, he came to my house. When he left out, he left a bottle in my driveway. He was drunk when he came to my house. This dude. So go back. Now, oh, huh. Interesting. Funny name.
I don't know what that
So
means, but okay.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So wow, that's interesting. Well, so years later, come back years later, um, a friend of mine was talking about this guy that she met. Like he said, "Hey, don't I know you?" Same little line, right? And I was like, and I don't know why, but it just quickened in my spirit. And I described him. She said, "Yeah." She said, "I'm going to go have coffee with him." I said, "Does he live in this area?" She was like, "Yeah." Because I had my cousin do a background check on him. And my cousin was like, "Yo, cuz." Now he had a drunk driving thing. He had something like some woman had not some woman, but whoever, he had a charge. He had different stuff on his record. Meanwhile, if you look at, because you look at me, he looks like a clean shaven, but this is the way he played the game. So when I told her, I said, "Did he say he live in this area?" She said, "Yeah." And I described him. And I said, "It's been years since I've seen him, but he's not going to come nowhere near my house because I prayed him off of my house. He coming near here, he's getting hit by lightning and a gun, but that's a different story." But yeah. So then she said, "Yeah." I said, "Uh." And she said that she told another friend about him. And the other girl said, "Girl, don't, don't go out. Don't go out with him again." And she was like, "Oh my God," because she just happened to mention him to me, and it just clicked like that, who it was. This guy. So when this woman had did the whole series of what was going on, I knew. I said, "There's certain things you can fall for." I only knew this guy for like 3 weeks, but for 3 weeks it didn't feel right. Like something wasn't right. She ended up marrying him, but I can see how conniving it could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like, this guy really taught me a lot
She
during that
said
little
Jason.
time.
Okay, she means Jason Freddy Krueger. We thought you giving
Uh,
somebody information
I
out.
thought I was like, "Ooh,
Okay. He's like, oh,
I
okay.
know it's a Freddy
Ooh,
Krueger."
she
Like,
like put it out there.
put it out there.
I mean, she really like she paid for background searches and
Yep.
she got addresses and the
It's
address
probably
of
worth
the
it's
ex-wife.
worth it.
And
It's
but if
worth
you
it.
have to do all that, you know
It's
what I'm
it's
saying?
you
Like if you
do.
have to do all that, is it worth it to do all that? Like it's
Probably.
just it's
Yeah. So okay, say you don't do the background checks or you don't do anything like that. Right. Okay. And your guy could be great across the board. Because there's different reasons why people are not supposed to be together. You don't do a background check. Maybe he's very controlling. Maybe he's this. There's
mm,
other things that are not criminal activity
mm-hmm,
that tells you
mm-hmm,
shouldn't be with a certain person. There's just
mm-hmm,
other things that tell you this is not the person. I don't care how
mm-hmm.
squeaky clean their record is. We have to be discerning that this is not the person and be okay with that.
Mhm.
So I think in her case is that she had prayed for, and the devil will bring you things too, but she had prayed for this kind of guy, and this is what she saw. Granted, let's say she's living in Atlanta. Okay, so you know, there's a lot going on in Atlanta, and
Mhm.
there's some guys, and that's where Portia was from,
Mhm.
Atlanta.
Mhm.
So you got these guys. So I think the reason why Portia is asking for these records and stuff is because she's asking for records because he overstated what he probably makes. He's been saying, I get this, I get this. Because why would you ask if you were marrying this guy in the first place and you had this big lavish wedding and you talking about you're marrying this rich African and now you're divorcing him and you're asking for all of his assets. You want records of his assets, you want records of all the things that were coming and going, because they weren't coming and going. You were in the middle of a scam or a lie,
Mm.
and you took him at face value instead of just doing your research. I think it'll probably be a little helpful for some people to get these records, to pull them. Do a
And
Google
you know
search.
what? If your gut is telling you, "Oh, she paid for the wedding," okay, well, no, Bravo paid for the wedding.
Yeah, Bravo
Bravo
paid.
paid for the wedding. Um, if your gut is telling you, like, if you just something just don't feel right, trust your intuition, trust your
Hmm.
gut, and if you feel like you missing out on something, then
You're
you
not.
just missed out on it. I mean, if you did, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's yeah, you just gotta trust your gut, and then don't
Yeah.
be so quick. Like people want to rush to get married, and I love my husband. God knows I do. Um,
I'm
but
dead.
I don't know. Um, I will not. I will not.
No,
But
no, you won't.
I'm glad we had a small ceremony. Like we did not spend a lot of money on the wedding. And maybe it was because we were together for so long. But I look at weddings like rims. I remember Cat Williams talking about
Rims.
rims. And he was like, you spend all this money on these things that you can't even see. You don't even get to enjoy it. Everybody else is sipping on your liquor and your wine, eating your food. They may have brought you a gift. Maybe they didn't. They're dancing. They're getting nice and drunk. And now you are left with this bill if you didn't pay everything off. And you didn't really get a chance to spend time with everybody or even enjoy the occasion. Them joints is spinning and you can't even see it.
You
I'm
see it.
not
Mhm.
saying not to have a wedding. I'm not saying not to have dreams of having your fantasy wedding. I'm not saying that. I just don't want that to be the goal. Make the goal somebody that you could sit up in bed and talk bullshit with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to get some dressers. You think we need to get some? Yeah, I
Right.
think. You know what I'm saying? No, I saw this. Oh,
Hmm.
did you see that bedroom set in IKEA? I think we
Right.
should. I think we should come in. I think we should come in. Or just talking about dumb stuff like, or you just
Hmm.
laughing, and that's the want. That should be the goal because
Right.
the wedding takes weeks to plan and seconds to be over.
Yeah. But
It's
the
over
marriage is what
in
you want.
and the marriage is forever. And number one, have God in it
Right. First and foremost.
first and foremost. Have God in it. And if God ain't in it,
Yeah.
you can't expect to have a Brady Bunch.
It
You ain't
ain't
gonna be
cute.
like the Huxtables. So
Lord,
that's what
not
we
the
want.
Huxtables.
No, not the Cosbys. I said the Huxtables.
Huxtables.
The
Not
Hux,
Justin.
not the
Not
Cosbys.
the
The
Cosbys.
Huxtables. Not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
There's a different.
yeah.
There's a difference.
It's a different,
Yeah.
total
There's a
difference.
there's a total difference. We're not talking about the Cosby. We're talking about the Huxtables.
With the Jello pudding.
With the-
No, ain't nobody talking about that Jello pudding, baby. Mm-mm.
Mm. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's important.
I feel bad for people who are who are single and are just out here just trying to find love. They just want somebody to travel with and just to share life with. But you know what? A lot of people are starting to kind of change that and not want that to be their goal anymore. They're just like, I'm gonna just love me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just do me. I'm gonna just travel by myself. If I find a man, I find a man. If I don't, I'll be fine by myself.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, I saw something where a young woman, she had a whole wedding ceremony and she decided to marry herself.
Marry herself.
Yeah. Um, I thought that was interesting. Um, yeah. For a couple reasons. I thought it was reason. And one, I think it's pretty interesting, the whole ceremonial thing with marrying yourself. If that's what you need to go through so that you can feel confident in yourself, go through it. But I think that's more of an inner thing, not an outer of showing everybody how I love me. You got to do it. You
Mm-hmm.
got to walk this thing. Like it ain't no ceremony. Loving yourself is not a ceremony you do in front of people. It's what you put on every day. That's just one of the things you got to do. So I mean, everybody's doing this whole new thing, and it's okay to say that you want somebody in your life to do things with, but I don't care how much you desire someone to be in your life and you says it make you whole. It doesn't. Adding another person doesn't make you whole,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not how it goes. You got to be whole before you get into anything else. So learn to be okay.
Yeah.
Like the Apostle Paul, sometimes you got to learn to be content in whatever situation you're in. Be content,
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and let God do it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, Letitia. Be completely, okay with just waiting. And I'm telling you, that's when things come to you. When you rush it and you do it on your own terms, what you're getting is your own terms. You're not getting anything else. And you're creating a monster.
This is not a Medea movie.
Is this? I don't know.
You're not going to find him at the end of the movie.
No.
It takes time. Love
Oh,
takes time.
Lord.
That's actually a song. That's a song.
Isn't it? I was about to sing it.
Love takes
Takes
time to
time to
heal when you
heal.
hurt us so much.
Go do the one
Yeah.
part because I'm about to hit the high part. Go ahead, do the.
No,
Okay,
no,
let's
that's
let it
okay.
go. Let it go. Let it go. That's good. Let
There
it
you
go.
go.
I
Let it go.
appreciate you. Let it go. Let it go.
No, we talked about it, and hopefully we help somebody. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this. I think speaking about it helps people. I appreciate, what's her name? Tisa Lisa. What's her name? Lisa Tisa.
Tisa
Whatever.
Risa. Rita
Tisa Risa.
Tisa.
I appreciate her. I mean, if she ever watches this, I mean, I'm sorry that she had to go through that, but she said a lot of people had said to her, "You dodged a bullet." I'm going to be one of those people too to say, "Yeah, you dodged a bullet, sis."
His family said
And
that.
yeah, yeah, his family definitely told
Mm-hmm.
her, and I can see like each segment that she did, like where she was gaining her strength back. You can see some of those segments that she spoke and she was being very vulnerable with, that she was
Mm-hmm.
like, you can tell she took a hit with that one. Like that was hard for her to even say. But during the last part, she came out triumphant, and I pray that she
Mm-hmm.
stays there and that she'll do fine. And like, forget all the haters that said, I wouldn't put my business out like that. Well, no, I probably wouldn't put all my business out like that. But I do talk on a podcast, so some things do come
Uh,
out.
hold on. No, not no. They
But
don't. You you
I'm
still
not
you're
getting
still
nothing.
good at it. This girl is
Yeah,
making some money.
yeah, yeah.
TikTok. This girl has made some money.
She had all those views, you
And
know.
people are in the remakes of the TikToks and how people are
Mhm.
using the audio, and yeah, she done made her some money, so she know what she doing. And he is lawyered up. He is lawyered up,
Well, he
but
should.
he can't afford a lawyer.
Right, right. How you going to? She has
Or
more to
did he get
tell
a
than
lawyer? We don't know if it's
it's a
true or
big
not.
old.
We have no
Oh,
idea.
he's that same dude that says, "Yeah, I got a lawyer." It's Johnny Cochran. Hello, Walls.
Okay.
Where'd you dig
Yeah.
Johnny up from? And he be
Mm.
believing it's really Johnny Cochran. It sounds like that guy. But she has some more to tell for that story, because when she said that he went from a 3X to a medium, I'm like, hey, you ain't done. Tell me what's going
She said he
on.
lived in his car. He was
Yeah,
funky.
and he's funky.
And she gave him
Now,
$5.
if uh, you know what, remember back in the day whenever like, AIDS and everything was really running rampant. Not like it's not running rampant now. People are just being more safe, I think. But when it first came out, and then so you see people that you might have hooked up with back in the day and they look small, you'd be like, oh, like what happened? Why he's so little? Right. Yeah, you can be counting like how many years ago was it when I was with him? Yeah, because that's how it used to be. But yeah, so I'm trying to like figure out like I probably want to know more part. I want to not probably, but I want to know there's more to her story. And yeah, like what happened with dude? Why did he lose so much weight? Because I know she said that she left him alone and they're done with, but he wanted
He
to.
was broke. He was homeless. He wasn't going.
Yeah,
He was driving from Philly to Georgia.
yeah,
He went from Philly to Georgia,
you
and
know.
he didn't have any money. So,
Probably
he
was one
wasn't
of those people at
eating.
the gas station talking about, my car just stopped. You got a couple bucks, and I lost my banking card, and somebody, gave him a couple bucks. I hate
Mm.
that it had to be like that for him in that situation. I hate, like, I wonder what went on with him that he just would lie.
According to the brother, and I'm sorry if I ruin it for you, but he's bipolar, schizophrenic,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
and
know
he was
bipolar
trying
people that
to
don't
mold
lie.
his life like his twin
Mhm.
brother. His twin
Yeah,
brother is a VP. His twin brother has family. His
yeah,
twin brother. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Do your research, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
It
Do your
started to sound
research.
like R. Kelly trapped in a closet. Whenever in the next episode would come on, I was like, "Oh, she's about to
I didn't
say
even
something."
I didn't
I was
even
like, "This
watch
is
that.
R. This is R.
I
Kelly.
can't
This
get
is
this.
trapped in
I
a
can't get
closet."
this time back. I couldn't get that
You
time
can't.
back. I wasn't watching that. Yeah. I really appreciate you so much for just listening to us talk. We just chopping it up. If there was anything you want us to talk about, any issue or story you want us to talk about, please let us know. You can email us at the Hey Girl Hey Podcast 2018 at gmail.com. We're on IG, Facebook, the Twitter, and all streaming apps. Yeah, and you can check us out every Saturday on Urban Media Today Radio, on Live 365 and tune in. So we appreciate you hanging out.
Thank
For
you.
those who don't know who we are, I'm Kiki B. Jones.
And I'm the chatter chick, LaShawn Tipton. And
Yeah,
we miss you, Jerry. We'll have her back next week.
Jerry.
She got a
So Jerry be working,
oof.
and
Girl.
I think she's a home health aide. And
Yeah.
you just can't be having them patients walking around with no drawers on. I just wasn't trying to.
I just didn't want to see the open gown. Like she
Mr.
was talking in that
Smith,
open gown.
Mr. Smith,
Where the hop?
where's your drawers at? Lord Jesus, Mr. Smith. I'll be right back, ladies. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no.
We're actually gonna have a show live, not
Yeah.
live, but we'll be in person. We haven't had an in-person episode since the pandemic.
COVID. Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
COVID. So it'll be great to be in person. So be sure to look out for that too. So
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right. That is it for the Hey
That's
Girl
it.
Hey podcast. Appreciate
Hey.
y'all listening and watching. Bye.
Bye.